Hello and welcome back to another video. It's time to slice into the bloody, beautiful mess that is Dexter Resurrection Season 1, Episode 1, A Beating Heart.
Oh my god! Okay, it's happening! Everybody stay calm!
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Holy moly! Dexter Morgan is back, and this premiere is a wild ride that's got me hyped for what's next. Spoilers ahead, so if you haven't watched it yet, pause this, go stream it on Paramount Plus, and come back to the video at a later date. We're diving deep into Dexter's messed up headspace, the crazy new plot points, Harrison turning into a baby Bay Harbor butcher, those haunting hospital scenes with Trinity, Dokes, and Miguel, and the new addition of Angel Batista sniffing around Dexter like he's about to crack the Bay Harbor butcher case wide open. So grab a snack, maybe not a steak, unless you're channeling your inner Dexter, and let's get into the video. First up, let's talk about the main man himself, Dexter Morgan, played by the always mesmerizing Michael C. Hall. Resurrection picks up just weeks after New Blood, where Harrison shot his dad in the chest, leaving us all thinking, no way is Dexter coming back from that. Well,
surprise, motherfucker!
Dexter wakes up from a 10-week coma in the Seneca Nation Clinic. His heart somehow still beating, thanks to the freezing cold preserving him and some medical wizardry. I mean, come on, it's Dexter. Death's just a minor inconvenience for our favourite serial killer. So, what's going on in Dexter's head? This episode gives us a front row seat to his psyche, and it's a roller coaster. Dexter's always been the king of compartmentalizing, killer by night, forensics nerd by day, but now he's wrestling with some heavy stuff and we're seeing a way more emotional Dexter, but he still can't cry physically. His words, not mine. Guilt is eating him alive, especially over Harrison. He knows his dark passenger, that urge to kill, has screwed up his son's life forever, and it's like his conscience is staging an intervention. Michael C. Hall nails the mix of cold calculation and raw vulnerability. You can see it in his eyes. He's still the Dexter who slides bodies into a Gulf Stream, but he's also a dad desperate to fix what he broke. His internal monologue is back in full force, and it's as witty and as morbid as ever. There's this one line where he's like, I'm alive, but my heart's not sure it wants the job. Classic Dexter humour. I also don't know if it's just because Michael C. Hall is a veteran of the craft, but his storytelling is on point, especially through his eyes. When we have those moments where you hear his internal monologue, you can see real, raw emotion. His acting is just phenomenal. There's also a new layer to the character now. He doesn't just want to kill to satisfy his code anymore. He's driven by this need to save Harrison from becoming him, and also save others, which you find out more about in episode 2. It's like Dexter's finally looking in the mirror and realizing the monster staring back has caused a lot of collateral damage, and he wants to be a better person. Still a serial killer, but a better human being, sort of. The show doesn't over-explain his survival, which I love. Clyde Phillips, the showrunner, basically said, it's Dexter, he's back, deal with it. And I'm here for it. It also doesn't dive too deep into the whole Angela stuff and him killing Logan. I know a lot of people, including myself, wanted to know how he was going to worm his way out of that one. Dexter receives a picture from Angela with her and her daughter on the front, and on the back a note saying, we're even, now get the hell out of Iron Lake. And that's that. We later find out off Batista she told him she made a mistake and to forget about the Bay Harbor butcher. So this is basically a thank you from her for getting rid of Kurt in New Blood. By the end of the episode, Dexter's got his sights on finding Harrison in New York City, and you can feel his determination mixed with dread. The setting switch to New York City is a total game changer, making it like a huge playground for Dexter. This truly is the place to reinvent yourself. Gone are Miami's neon vibes and Iron Lake's snowy woods. Now we're in a gritty, bustling urban jungle that feels like the perfect playground for Dexter's dark passenger. The city's alive, chaotic, and full of shadows for our boy to sling through. It's giving me John Wick meets Dexter vibes, and I can't wait to see him really get into action later in the season. One of the biggest new threads which we saw in the trailer is now there is a club of serial killers running around New York. We get hints of this through Uma Thurman's character Charlie, who's this enigmatic figure leaving invitations in killers' trophy boxes. Like what, a secret society for serial killers? It's absolutely bonkers, but it fits Dexter's over-the-top world. This subplot feels like it's setting up a bigger conspiracy, maybe even a battle royale of killers, which is going to be fun to see how old man Dexter tackles this challenge, because we all know from the past, Dexter isn't really good at making or keeping friends.
I am the last person you want to fuck with, because I will fuck you back in ways you never even imagined.
Do you think this club's going to be Dexter's biggest challenge yet? Then there's this new rideshare serial killer, dubbed as the Dark Passenger by the media, which is hilarious because Dexter's like, excuse me, that's my thing, and wants to take back his throne. This killer's got the NYPD scrambling, and we meet homicide detective Claudette Wallace, played by Kadaya Saraf, who's sharp and already smells something fishy. She's giving me Angela Bishop vibes from New Blood, but with a New York edge. Now, let's get to Harrison Morgan, played by Jack Olcott, who's stealing the show with his descent into darkness. Harrison's in New York, working as a lobby boy at the Empire Hotel, trying to live a normal life. He's passed his GED, charming his co-workers, and you're almost like, maybe he's gonna be okay. Nope. The trauma from shooting his dad in New Blood is still eating him up. He's having these vivid hallucinations of Iron Lake, and you can see the weight of it all in his eyes. Then comes the moment that had my jaw on the floor. Harrison spots this creep named Ryan, a repeat SA predator, who's about to assault a woman named Shauna. He tries to leave it and says no, this isn't my problem, but then he gets a vision of all the girls that Kurt murdered back in Iron Lake, and something snaps in Harrison. He goes full vigilante serial killer. He kills Ryan with the lid of a toilet seat, chops him up into 9 pieces, Dexter style, and dumps the body parts into bin liners just like his old man the Bay Harbor Butcher. It's chilling to see Harrison mimic his dad's methods, but it's not as clean or controlled like Dexter's kills. He leaves the trash bags outside the hotel to be collected by the bin men, who are driving past at the exact same time he dumped the body outside. When the trash bags break at the dock, and the BG's Staying Alive kicks in, it's the perfect mix of dark humor and horror. Like Harrison, buddy, you're not ready for this life. What's heartbreaking is that Harrison's not driven by a Kurd or a dark passenger. He's just a traumatized kid trying to do the right thing in the worst way. His guilt hits hard, and you can tell he's in over his head. This is something that will be interesting to see as the series develops, as unlike Dexter, Harrison has real emotions, and all of this death and killing is slowly breaking him down, leading him to possible insanity. When Dexter hears about the chopped up body in New York, he knows it's Harrison, and his mission to find his son gets even more urgent. This father-son dynamic is the emotional core of the episode, and I'm dying to see how Dexter handles Harrison's new path. Do you think Harrison's gonna embrace the killer life once and for all, or pull away again? The hospital scenes are straight up Dexter gold, blending nostalgia with some serious psychological depth. While Dexter's in a coma, his mind conjures up 3 ghosts from his past. Arthur Mitchell, the Trinity Killer, played by John Lithgow, James Dokes, Eric King, and Miguel Prado, Jimmy Smits. These aren't just cameo fanservice moments, they're like Dexter's subconscious holding a mirror to his sins. First, we get John Lithgow as Trinity, who is as chilling as he was in the original show. He shows up in this creepy Christmas Story style scene, taunting Dexter about how he can't have it all. Trinity, who killed Rita, reminds Dexter of the ripple effect his actions had on Harrison, leaving him in a pool of his mum's blood, just like Dexter was. It's a brutal gut punch, and Lithgow's chilling delivery makes it hit even harder. Miguel Prado, played by Jimmy Smits, is second in Dexter's visits from ghosts of his past, and his scene is just as powerful. Miguel, Dexter's one-time friend, and victim, reminds him how his relationships always end in betrayal and death, showing Dexter the gravestones of all the innocent lives lost because of his dark passenger, Rita, Deb, and Mariah LaGuerta, again reminding him he can't have a normal life and be a serial killer. These visions, set in the sterile hospital room, are shot really beautifully, with Harry Morgan, James Remar, replacing Deb from New Blood, showing Dexter he still has something to live for, which is his son Harrison, and being his guide once again. It's a love letter to longtime fans, but it also sets up Dexter's redemption arc. Last but not least, we have the one and only Eric King, who storms in as Dokes with the iconic
Surprise, motherfucker.
which I found hilarious. Dokes, who Dexter framed as the Bay Harbor Butcher, is all fire and fury, just like he was in the original show, calling him out for being a creep, but also pushing him to find some shred of good in himself and save his son. It's like Gopes is still the cop who saw through Dexter's mask, but he knows he isn't all bad, and it's just satisfying as a fan to see him back on the screen. Now, let's talk about Angel Batista, Mr. La Passion, played by David Zayas, because his return is a game changer. Angel shows up at the Seneca Nation Clinic as a captain from Miami Metro, and he's not just there for a friendly chat. The second he walks in, you can feel the tension. He gives Dexter this big, warm hug, but his eyes are screaming, I know you're hiding something. Angel's been digging into the Bay Harbor Butcher case again, and this time is onto Dexter. Batista is confused as to why all of a sudden Angela Bishop decided to drop the case, saying that she made a huge mistake, Dexter isn't the Bay Harbor Butcher, and then just vanishes into thin air. He also brings up Mariah LaGuerta, which he says he can't seem to let go of, and you can see the venom in his eyes when he speaks of her, which is understandable as he was really in love with her, and she got murdered because of Dexter, by his own sister. With Batista being the seasoned detective he is, you can really see he isn't buying the whole grief stuff from Dexter, and he's determined to get answers. It's really quite sad to see as a longtime fan, what used to be a huge bromance is no more. There's no more La Passion, it's done. But I guess these things happen if you're a serial killer who gets found out. It's hard to fathom what the end of their feud could be, Would Dexter kill Batista? I don't think so, but he'd also do anything to get out of going to jail and to keep his son. The whole scene is extremely tense, and I can't wait to see how this relationship unfolds over the season and potential visits from Masuka and Quinn, as Batista still works with them back in Miami. The episode ends with Dexter escaping from the hospital, funnily enough by pretending to be Quinn on a phone call.
Hey Siri, call the Seneca Nation Clinic. Yeah, hi, this is Detective Quinn, Miami Metro. I need to talk to Captain Batista.
To distract Batista while a still fragile Dexter scurries away. He knows another visitation from Batista is going to mean more questions, and he knows Batista will just keep on digging. We see him steal a car and make his way to New York City to find his son. Dexter Resurrection Season 1 Episode 1 is a triumphant return that balances nostalgia with bold new directions. Michael C. Hall easily jumping back into those Dexter boots, grounding Dexter's complex state of mind in a guilt and paternal desperation. Harrison's evolution into a killer adds a tragic, emotional layer, while the New York setting and the teased serial killer society promise a fresh spin on the Dexter formula with hopefully lots more seasons to come. The hospital scenes with Trinity, Dokes, and Miguel are a highlight, delivering fan service with substance. If this premiere is any indication, Resurrection is poised to be a worthy successor to New Blood and a love letter to the Dexter legacy, and it has a 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. I'd love to know what you thought of episode 1 A Beating Heart. Are you excited for Dexter's New York adventure or Harrison's dark path? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more Dexter Resurrection reviews. Stay sharp, and I'll see you next time.